of the original opponent? What did you think of Manny and Errol Spence?
Errol Spence, but Errol Spence, I know very top fighter, as champion also, but undefeated, and that's undefeated. The problem is his eye. He's lucky.
Lucky, you thought he got lucky?
It's lucky because
Going to fight.
for me,
Yeah.
for my observation,
Yeah.
I'm not no, I'm not underestimate this opponent because Manny, I know his man is very this training camp is very hard preparation. This man, I know man is a bit with no, the opponent.
What's good, family? So mash the like button and subscribe. Wow. Oh man, Team Spence just seem to go down badder and badder. They are down super bad right now. Listen, what do we know? We know for a fact Team Pacquiao are extremely humble. But despite being humble, the truth is the truth. Yeah? And the truth is, like you just heard there, from my Team Pacquiao mans, they told you what the truth is. Never mind Errol the truth Spence. Never mind Errol the fake eye Spence. How about Errol is lucky it's only his eye that is twist? Because you best believe, if he'd have gone in there with Pacquiao, having a bit of a twist eye would have been in fact, having a fake twisted eye would have been the last of his problems. Do you understand? Yeah? And like I said to you, man, earlier, Pacquiao's team are humble. So, they don't say these things. They don't, for example, they're not trash talkers. We've heard over the years people talk a whole big game. Floyd Mayweather's talked the biggest game for years. He ain't never hurt no one in a fight. Yeah? He could even hurt a YouTuber in a fight. Do you understand? Pacquiao been murking dudes. No doubt about that. He been murking dudes. So why that's relevant is that you've got talkers and you've got walkers. Pacquiao is a walker. Having said that, when he does talk, or when his team does talk, because they're normally humble, they're not, like for example, Adrian Broner, he stay talking. He don't do no walking. Yeah? He stay talk, gets in there, oh man, I couldn't let my hands go. Let's not forget that. Before the Pacquiao fight, Adrian Broner said, oh man, I'm going to do it for the hood. I'm going to knock Pacquiao out for the hood. He got in there and he was scary. Adrian Broner's butt was twitching. Pacquiao made him grab his own ankles. No doubt about that, 100%. And then after the fight, Broner said, oh man, I'm still for the hood and I won that fight and Pacquiao lost and I couldn't let my hands go. That's what Broner said. No doubt. But Broner, before the fight, he was talking all the good talk. Pacquiao, stay humble. That's relevant because when Pacquiao does speak, when Pacquiao tells you you was lucky, you best believe, you best understand how lucky you really was. Because he ain't going to tell you that for nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying here? For Pacquiao to tell you, or for Team Pacquiao to say, after their opponent is injured, to tell them you was lucky, that's all you had. You should be, Team Spence, you should be grateful it's only a fake eye injury that you have. Because, and to be honest with you, Team Pacquiao, what we know now, the fact we know that Errol Spence is lying about his eye injury, that really tells us that Team Spence already knew how lucky they was, didn't they? Because if Team Spence didn't know what was coming for them on the Saturday, they'd have turned up, innit? If Team Spence were naive, or if Team Spence genuinely thought they was going to win, or if Team Spence thought that they weren't going to get whooped, they'd have turned up. But they didn't, which tells me that they knew how lucky they was. In fact, the fact they knew how much of a whooping they was going to get, that's what brought this whole situation in the first place. Because what we know is, Team Spence thought, yeah, we'll get a piece of that old man pay-per-view money. That old man Hall of Fame Pacquiao money. That's what they thought they was getting. And then, obviously, Team Pacquiao made the error of posting up the training footage. Pacquiao looking too sharp. Spence weren't trying to fight like that. He likes fighting people like Danny Garcia, who stand there and get paid off by Al Heyman, or Mikey Garcia, who stands there and gets paid off by Al Heyman. That's who he likes to fight. He don't want to fight a real fight. Because if he did, he'd have turned up. And that goes for all you goofy Spence fans who think Spence... I told you before, if you believe Spence, tell your man to turn up on Saturday. That's it. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to talk. You ain't got to do nothing else. Tell your man to turn up. If he the truth, if he whatever he says he is, if he's man down, yeah? If your man's is eye down, Errol eye down Spence, turn up on Saturday. That's it. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to talk. Ain't got to comment. Ain't got to post videos. Just turn up. Oops. Your man ain't going to turn up. He out of there. He checked out. He saw the footage and he checked out. He don't want none. Because if he did, he'd be turning up. How about that? It's not rocket science. And Team Pacquiao, listen, the one good thing about this situation is, at least now everyone knows what the situation is. Team Pacquiao know Errol Spence was lucky he didn't turn up. Team Spence know Team Spence know how lucky they was he didn't turn up. It's that whole luckiness which got us into this situation in the first place. Because Team Spence did the maths. They thought, oops, what happens if we get a good whooping from Pacquiao? Our career is done. All these pay-per-views we've been doing, all this Texas money we've been getting, is over. Pacquiao gonna whoop the best PBC fighter and sail off into the presidency. They can't afford that. So what they're gonna do? Their man Spence is gonna go missing for a few months and pray that Pacquiao gets bored and retires. That's what he's praying for. Well, really, actually, tell I. Spence is praying that Ugas beats Pacquiao. That's what he wants to happen. Because if Ugas beats Pacquiao, Spence will come out and say, oh man, see, I told y'all. I was about to give him a good whooping. And that's what he was going to do. 100%. You best believe Pacquiao loses. That's what's coming next. But what Spence don't realise is, if Pacquiao loses, it don't even count. Because guess what? Pacquiao was rock hard for you, Spence. Yeah? He don't know nothing about Ugas. And no one care about Ugas. It's only because of how much of a fighter Pacquiao is, he's even accepting that fight. Because most people would be, and rightfully so, would just reschedule it. But he's that thirsty. Pacquiao's got blue balls. He's rock hard for Errol Spence. He can't, listen, Pacquiao can't hold his nut in no more. He got to release that nut, no doubt. And that's why Ugas is fixing to get. Ugas is fixing to get the nut that Spence was fixing to catch, no doubt. Yeah. So listen, you heard there from Team Pacquiao. Team Pacquiao ethering Errol Spence and his team. They down bad. Listen, I don't care what no one says. Yeah, it's bad when Team Pacquiao start getting off all over Errol Spence, mugging him off, punking him. This is what you call a good punking. Because for me, when someone's Pacquiao's team here, they're not trash talking, which makes it more powerful, makes it more valuable, it makes it more hurtful. It's bad, yeah, when a team who is extremely respectful and extremely humble, when they start getting off all over you, it's bad. you're down super, super bad. When a humble team just can't resist. You can just tell. My man's Bobby, yeah? Bobby Pacquiao, he couldn't wait to drop that bar. They was lucky. Because they was. The truth is, they was. And if any Spence fan or any goofy fan out there, if you disagree that Spence was lucky, like I told you earlier, all you've got to do, don't talk, don't comment, is get your mans to turn up. Isn't it? If you disagree, oh no, Spence wasn't lucky. If he wasn't lucky, turn up on Saturday. That's it. Turn up on the 20th. No doubt. Whatever, 21st, whatever day it is, turn up on that date. Otherwise, if he doesn't turn up, that means he was lucky. Because he knows that. That's why he didn't want to be there. Because fighters who think they can win, turn up, don't they? Let's not make out that Pacquiao's, even though Pacquiao's looking the best he ever has, let's not make out he's in the prime of his career. So for Errol Spence to pull out on some technicality, well, Pacquiao's old. I'm sure he's got loads of things that are wrong with him. Do you understand? Even if he is floating like a UFO, he's old. Yeah? But he was, listen, Pacquiao was fixing to whoop that young booty for Spence. Yeah, that's what was going to happen. Anyway, this for me was a classic, no doubt. Spence was lucky, yeah, lucky. Pacquiao was fixing to split Spence's buns for him, split them wide open.